Afternoon, Jaquez. How are you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing excellent. Indiana has had a kind of a tradition at wide receiver with some really good names in the past. You join a room with Ty Freifogel, who's reigning Big Ten wide receiver of the year. What have you learned from that group, and what can you add to this group going forward?
What I learned from this group is, we all talented at the end of the day, but we got to know when to lock in and when, like, just to stay on our playbook, make sure we staying locked in on what's the main thing. So our main goal is to get to the national championship, but we got to lock in. And what they're helping me with is just staying in this playbook. This like everything thing, just staying in the locker room, staying in the locker room, locking in on the playbook.
All right, Tom, then John.
Jaquez, one of the biggest changes that athletes see a lot of times going from high school to college is just the high level and the high energy of the weight room and such. What has been going on in training in the weight room with any sort of exercises or machines or such that have kind of surprised you, and what are you getting the most out of there?
Just hitting different muscles. Hitting different muscles like I never had before. Just hitting my lower body more than anything, because I'm a big upper body guy, and I just been working on my flexibility more than anything. So the weight room is the best thing in this facility. So that's what I can say.
John, then Dustin.
I think if I remember a previous interview, you said something about being like a mini DK Metcalf or something like that. That Grant Hursley is that. Why do you think that's kind of the comparison, and what do you need to do to kind of live up to that kind of comparison, I guess?
Well, I say DK is a working horse, and I feel like I'm a working horse as well. Especially, staying out to practice, catching like 150 balls a day. Just staying in the, staying that drive, just continuing to get better every single day.
All right, Dustin.
I guess just keeping with that question, what do you think is the biggest things you need to get better at as you're looking at what you have to do to make the success you had in high school translate to college? What are the areas, maybe even the finer points of the game that you feel like you really need to focus on at this point?
At this point, it's just staying on the route run. I think that's the main thing. Making sure I'm dropping my hips, make sure I'm catching the ball and finishing upfield, make sure I'm, catching everything with my hands and eyes. So that's the main thing I'll be focused on as well.
Tom, and then John.
You mentioned earlier about just trying to really stay deep into the playbook. How difficult is that for you to get rolling? Is it, obviously there's a lot to learn there. Does it all make sense, and are you picking it up pretty quick?
Well, the main thing is is focusing on everybody's position, not just mine, and not just staying on my position, staying on everybody else's, make sure I know where to line up, how to line up, and just getting ready. It's not difficult, but at the same time, you have to learn it a lot faster because, I came in the summertime, so I ain't have a lot of time these guys had.
All right, John.
We were talking to Jordan Williams earlier, and he did get in earlier and obviously got the spring with Coach Hurd, who's really hard on guys. I mean, he's kind of his style. I mean, what have they told you about kind of the details and how much you have to be down the details? And again, talking about learning the playbook, how much is that a priority, knowing how he's going to push you guys?
Like they all say, if you don't know the playbook, you can't play. So that's the main thing I stay on. So you have to lock in on that. So that's just the little things. You have to make a schedule for yourself. When to get in the playbook. So I stay in the playbook probably about 2 hours, at least 2 hours a day. You have to do that kind of stuff. So just to be ready at all times.